Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rochelle and this is Brampton Gardener, and on today's episode we are talking all about fun seeds. So in this video I'm going to be listing my top coolest looking seeds and seed pods. It doesn't really relate to the actual plants, which they're all pretty cool anyways, but these are my favorite looking seeds and seed pods. I have them all here in my bowl. So in no particular order, I'm just gonna reach in and grab one and show you what it is. So I will pull one out and I'm going to let you all guess what plant this is from. So the first one up is this here. I'm gonna try and show you in my hand. Little snails. The plants that these grow on are considered medicinal. They're also considered a cool flower. They are grown for their medicinal properties in the petals, and also they make amazing cut flower bouquets. This seed is Calendula. So Calendula comes in very different, many different shades of yellows to oranges. The traditional color is like a bright orange, kind of a fall orangey color. My favorite this year was I got a mix. It was called a flashback mix, and so I did kind of isolate the flowers by color as they started to bloom, and I kept them separate. So I have orange seeds I collected off the orange plants, off the yellow plants, and then off of what I'm calling like a honey colored plant. So I'll be popping those pictures up on the screen and show you the ones that I grew this year. And that is our first seed, is the Calendula. Up are my beans, and they are purple actually, and they're just absolutely beautiful little beans. So this is a vine that is controversial over whether the seed pods are edible or not, and the seed pods are edible when they're small, and then after that you're just supposed to eat the beans inside when they get bigger. Have you guessed what it is yet? These are scarlet runner beans. So next up are these little round BBs. They look perfectly round, little balls, almost like little rabbit poops or beads. You could actually probably drill these and make a beautiful little beaded necklace. They're very, very hard. You have to nick them and soak them in water to get them to grow. And as cool as these look, they're nice and shiny and hard and very round and slippery. What I like the most about these is actually the seed pod. So I'll show you the picture here. This pretty much gives it away. So these are canna lilies. So the canna lily flower is absolutely beautiful, but the seed pods I think are just as cool, and I use them a lot in flower arrangements. And this is what the seed looks like when you get them out of the pods. Oh, one I do want to mention that I don't happen to have any seeds with me currently, or seed pods, but I do have some pictures from last year, and that is moonflower vine. So moonflower has beautiful blooms, and they have the most incredibly just big bulbous looking seed pods. They're really pretty. They're really cool looking. Okay, and this is probably one of my favorites right here. So I actually went out into the garden yesterday and managed to find some seed pods that were still on the plant. So this is the, so I don't know if you'll recognize these seed pods, but they are super cool and creepy. I have talked about them before in one of my Plant of the Week series days. Hopefully I can get a decent shot of the seed pods for you. We will try this out. So when you look at the pods, they have this like really super creepy skull face. You see that? Looks like a skull. These plants are very, very cool hardy. They are actually still alive outside, still blooming. They come back in my zone 5B garden. What are these? Who guessed? Snapdragons. So these are the super cool and super creepy snapdragon seed pods. So next up we have these ones here. They're really cute little black seeds. They look like little grenades. I call them Barbie grenades. So they have this really cute, cool little shape. These are not cold hardy. These are a tropical plant. They are also known as the Marvel of Peru. They come in shades of pink and white and yellow, and they bloom at a specific time of day. Anyone guess? These are, oops, falling all over the place. Okay, these are 4 o'clocks. So these are 4 o'clock seeds. They are very, very prolific. If you've ever planted a 4 o'clock, you will probably always have a 4 o'clock coming back up there. They come back and reseed themselves very freely, but they're pretty easy to just pop out. And this year I just went and kind of moved them around my garden and put them wherever I wanted. Next up, we have these seeds, which look like wrinkled old peas or little brains. I call them baby, these are like Barbie brains. So these, or they look like baby walnuts or something like that. These plants are actually a lot cold hardier than I had thought. They always say that these plants are very, very sensitive to the frost, but they actually last a lot longer than some of my other, like some of the petunias and others. They are edible. Every part of this plant is edible. The leaves, the flowers, and even these seeds when they are still ripe. And they grow on the plant and they have beautiful flowers. They come in all different shades of yellows, pinks, oranges, salmon colored. Did anybody guess it yet? This is a seed from the nasturtium. Next up, you should get this if you watched my shorts video that I posted recently. So these seeds. So these seeds are pretty cool. They look like a little bit kind of like a coffee bean. And they have like a little white stripe that comes out of the top, like a little mohawk or almost like a little oyster, little clam. You see that? I'll be posting some other pictures up on the screen. It's kind of hard to see. But these grow, like I said, a bean. So this is a bean. It's a vining bean that grows beautiful, beautiful purple flowers that turn into purple pods. And honestly, I read so many conflicting things on the internet about whether they're edible or not edible. And honestly, I didn't have enough this year to even worry about trying to eat them. So I just let them go to seed and collected the seeds off of them. So who had hyacinth beans? And last but not least are these pretty little seeds. So these plants are a biennial. So that means that they will grow the first year and they don't bloom until the second year. And when they bloom, boy, do they bloom. They put on quite the show and they have big, long blooms. This is Hollyhocks. Last but not least, this one is still in the container and I don't know which variety this is because I found it broken off laying in the garden, not by any of the other plants, but it still had some seeds in it, so I wanted to save it. And this one, it's the seed pod that is super cool and you might recognize it. So it still has a few seeds in there. It's a cute little top on that. These I hope are coming back year after year. I did have a great success growing all different kinds of varieties of this plant in my winter sowing containers. I had several different colors. I had them in gray, which was super cool. I had them in pinks. I had them in reds. I had them in all different colors. The seeds inside of this thing are incredibly tiny, little tiny black seeds that in some varieties are edible and other varieties I don't recommend eating them. This is a poppy seed pod. So here we have all of my, I'm going to put it back in here so I don't lose all these poppy seeds because I stored it in here upside down and they're coming out. So I do have them in my little container. But that was just a really quick rundown of some of my favorite cool looking seeds. So comment below which one of your seeds that I showed you today is your favorite looking seed, and if I didn't mention your all-time favorite, make sure you message me down below and let me know which seed or seed pod you think is super cool. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.